Hello and welcome to the preview show, Rosehill Gardens. Not the best card we've ever seen, but some interest in it despite, I think what we've seen in the last few weeks, boys, is the smaller fields, they're just sort of hanging in there as okay betting races. It's not as hopeless as they can be. There's been worse small field races than we've seen in the last few weeks.
Look, I think we have to put up with it, Dale, because I mean, while we've got 13 in the last for a regulation Saturday race, certainly the Wednesday race, race 7, is the largest field of the day, and they will look at that and go, this is what we need.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
just need to run a few more Wednesday races on a Saturday to get some numbers, and that will be the case.
We've even lost Cosmic Endeavour from the team for the Carnival. Anyway, it's in Melbourne. Aaron, hello.
Hi, Dallas.
Oh, getting better. Mark, track, weather, we had a bit of rain, well, a fair bit of rain in Sydney earlier in the week.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, it's surprising to see how they went. I did speak to Chris Toogood yesterday, and he made a good point about the track, which I've got to say to them, they have been, when we've thought they've been a bit doom and gloom about, they haven't been far off. They've probably been between our mark and what their mark is.
Yeah, they're on the pessimistic side, but they haven't been completely wrong.
Yeah, he said why it went so far deep, and the tracks were hard. The grass hadn't grown as much, so they were still in that
grass growing.
Yeah, so it's sort of in that fragile state. So that's why it was where it was. He expected probably to get to about a 6, and we're probably saying about a 5, aren't we?
Yeah, well, I
5
mean,
to 6.
Yeah, soft, soft in the new terminology, and not very wet, not very dry.
Yeah, a little bit
better than slow, but not quite dry.
Yeah, it's just sting out. Dead to slow. Anyway, rail true. This will see the fence out of play, and lane
should do. Like
4
the
metres.
last meeting we saw at the fence on the fence, the rail wasn't out of play. The rail was out of play in the straight, but the rail wasn't out of play to sit on.
Yeah,
the track was heavy that day.
Yeah. I'm talking about in straight. Yeah. But I mean that's the general play at Rose, so you need to save ground and then get off the fence.
Yeah, but look. There were days at Rosehill, for example, the first few rail normals of the winter, where you couldn't even sit on the fence.
Yeah.
You didn't want to circumnavigate, as you say, but you needed to be off the fence all the way. This could be one of those tracks.
All right. Anyway, moving into it, we'll just go straight into it. First promo. Not as we speak, the promos are being worked out. Actually. We got a new packages page, which will be a revolving thing week to week. The boys are working out exactly what they're doing, but I think upfront 12-month packages where you're going to be able to get things for about half the price across the 12-month period. So right now I don't even know exactly what they are, so check out the packages and see what they are. I think you're going to be able to get the $10 packages for, I'm not sure, whatever it is, and the $20 packages or the $20 products for whatever it is. So there's going to be a lot of discounting there, but it'll be available for 1 week only. So and limited numbers as well too. So check out. There should be a link on the top of the Punters Show site now. Packages. Check out that. Go to it and see what all the great value offers are available this week, and this week only for a limited number. Check that out. Race 1 is the All Too Hard at Vinery Handicap, 2,400 metres. Soviet Courage, $3.60, $2.60 favourite, Defrost My Heart, and Lucky Leo's on $6 with Emerald City.
Exciting.
Yeah.
At least they've moved the last race to the first race. You can just show up late to the races now.
Mark, a bit happening in the well, not a bit happening, but there's a few candidates to lead, I should say.
Well, there's no obvious pace.
Yeah.
So it'll be a field of 6 with Ward staying at Canberra today, we expect. I know that Ray doesn't like those one-day backer-uppers. So, yeah, it's catch and kill your own here. Emerald City is stepping up in distance and has had a relatively light preparation for a 2,400 metre race, and has just had the one run at 2,300 in the past. So he could find himself a bit too fresh to be restrained here. Certainly Defrost My Heart should posse up. And Soviet Courage on the fresh side is probably in the van as well. He's dreaming, certainly wants to go, but wants to have last crack. And Napoleon just in front of him.
All right. Soviet Courage is actually start with the favourite, Defrost My Heart, 2 wins at Warwick Farm, and the trial in between.
Yeah, quite a good trial since, Aaron. I mean, we might refer to you for the trials of Soviet Courage and Defrost My Heart? If you did pay any attention,
I paid very minor attention.
Did you have a bigger fish to
race.
fry?
I had bigger fish to fry. It's not a race that I was inclined to even really look at.
Okay.
He one thing on Defrost My Heart, he was the one that kind of hasn't exactly proven where his level is yet.
Yeah.
He's still on that.
He's not convicted yet.
Yes, he's not convicted. He's on the upward spiral.
Even though he's got a few serious charges against him.
Yes.
Well, look, the problem with this race is we've got so few horses having had a recent run.
That's right, exactly. And then the recent runs from Kembla. Or one of the recent runs is from Kembla.
Yeah, that's right. And we've got the Tari Cup run of Lucky Liaison last Sunday, which is it's good and bad. I mean, it's good that it's had a recent run. It's bad that it went to Tari.
So it's just all bad to start with.
So it sounds like we're all really excited.
No, exactly right. I would lean to He's Dreaming on the account of that Kembla run, which the Kembla run numbers wise probably stacks up as well as these rubbish staying races have in Sydney. But yeah, great. Jimmy Cassidy, all that sort of business. Leave me out.
Well, Robert Thompson did a Robert Thompson there. He got left with the Bickies. They all sort of destroyed each other, and he was last man standing. So I'm not looking towards the Kembla run. But having said that, there is no obvious place to go here.
No.
And I've settled on Defrost My Heart, who did appear to use its marbles up at its second Warwick Farm win, because Lucky Liaison got horribly close. But she's now seasoned and still lightly raced, and Bowman on board, and seems the best place to go, but has been offered up as just a fair place to go in terms of the betting. So
yeah, okay. So
Aaron's passing.
I'm passing. I'd agree with you with Defrost My Heart if I had to have an opinion.
but yeah.
But don't have an opinion.
Staving ground, staying race. I'm sure that's going to, unless it is the place not to be on the thing, that wouldn't be a disadvantage in this race.
I'd better be leaning to Hugh Bowman being probably the best staying rider in the race.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But that's about where we're at. Not a great start to the day.
Yeah, perhaps we should just move on, Dale.
Yeah, perfect.
There's a chance that we'll just
bore
give
everybody.
Up, give up.
It gets better. It gets better. What does get better? What you should be doing then is just getting yourself organised after having your first bet in the tournament in the first race at Memsie Stakes Day for our huge tournament, $500 buy-in. What did the boys say? Minimum $15,000 pool or $20,000 pool?
I think it was 15 minimum. 15
minimum. Should hopefully get to 20. So if you're not aware of the concept of the tournaments, it's just like playing poker but on racing. It really is a fun way to spend the afternoon. It's your $500 buy-in. You can do it with yourself, or you can share it around with a few mates. If the pool gets to 20,000, you're going to win 10,000 at least. No, I think that'd be about 12,000 if it's a $20,000 pool or thereabouts. But yeah, it's a good chance to win a lot of money for a $500 investment. And you just bet throughout the afternoon. You get 10,000 or whatever it is. You get a bank of better bucks to play with. You just got to turn that over once. Keep betting throughout the afternoon. Your bank builds. You see what you're playing against. The strategy comes into play. It is just an awesome way to have an enjoyable afternoon on the races and give yourself a chance of winning a very significant amount if you're just putting in $500. So details at the Top Better site. Just go to topbetter.com.au, isn't it, Aaron?
Yes, that's it.
Just go there and find out more details about it, or if there's anything you want further, just shoot one of us an email, or one of the boys in the office an email, and they'll give you a lot more information about it. But the Memsie Stakes tournament, $500 in for potentially $10,000 plus into your product, plus good prize, a couple of $1,000 for second, third, fourth, fifth, and all that sort of all the way down. So you run second or third or fourth or fifth, you're still getting a good earn.
Well, Glenn said everyone's playing for second. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, Glenn will be in there again, doing his best.
Has he won one yet?
No. Started favourite in every tournament and hasn't won one. He might need a gear change. Consistent place getter. Yeah, exactly. Just doesn't find the line. He has found the line a little bit.
Could be the guy.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that's the tournament. More details there, and just get involved in them because they're going to be huge out in the spring, and it's just going to be a great way to continue on. Another way of having a bet on the races. Race 2 He's over 1,500 metres, and we've lost Supreme Warrior from this. So it's Centre Pivot $3 in favourite, Foreign Prince $3.60 or thereabouts.
Right, so I imagine that Foreign Prince has to take it up, and Mara Nostro comes across. Centre Pivot box seats, which looks terrible.
Yeah.
And I had a Dora Beale racing when I won back.
But a box seats with Bowman, so he's the inside gate getter away.
Yeah,
with
he is certainly, and he's got Japanese me later on to work on as well. But I mean, you know, what was that he won 2 weeks ago?
Centre Pivot?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, it was a walking race, wasn't it?
It was just like, you know, let's be here and okay, let's go, guys.
Yeah, exactly. He almost can fit it into the horse. The only horse that really could win, I suppose.
And at 12 to 1,
yeah.
Clearly, you know, those that were forgiving of Centre Pivot were, and noticed that Bishin was sticking there were rewarded. But will they be playing tomorrow?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's
the obvious schools of thought that occurred to me when starting this race were, well, Foreign Prince is a genuine horse,
definitely,
and it takes it up off a last start that's at least, you know, solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, Mara Nostro has, for all his how should we say, deficiencies as a horse, as a racehorse, gets a situation that looks tailor-made.
Well, he should just jump and be there, shouldn't he?
Yeah. And he obviously gets a damper track than he did a fortnight ago when he went reasonably well.
Yeah, I mean, he's up and running and fit and doing his best.
But
his best isn't much good.
His best isn't much good, but I mean, he's right there, and you know, this looks like a run where you wouldn't want to back Centre Pivot, except for the fact that he's a winner.
Yeah.
Aaron, what do you want to do here?
I don't know if I want to play in the race. He'd be the only horse I could probably, even Dora Beale would probably be the only 2 horses I could back in the race.
Because they're in the early stages of their campaign?
Yeah, I think they're the ones that obviously have more ability than the rest of the field. I don't think Centre Pivot would get beaten in any of the races Mara Nostro did.
That's a good point.
Yeah, the only thing is, I've still got the doubt. Like, I mean, this whole Cobalt thing we'll learn a lot more about as we go on.
Yeah.
But it's like when you see a horse parade poorly. If they only have a 600-metre race, they get away with it because they're not fully tested. He's at a 600-metre race. He looked good in doing it. I want to see here, and not that this is going to be a high-pressure race anyway, but until he can come out.
Similar thing.
It probably is.
And the horse with a better sprint's going to win, which is him.
Maybe not. But Foreign Prince is in the race, so they're not going to go as slow as they did last year. So it's still going to be something. So he's still, to me, Centre Pivot's still
that one-run fitter as well.
Yeah, he is. But if he's got ongoing cardiovascular issues, which Cobalt often does produce, and I suppose we don't know the level of Cobalt that was in it or whatever, you know. So until that box is ticked, I've still got to be worried about it.
Yeah, I think that's you raise a valid concern, and you know, and I think Foreign Prince's only hope in this race, T-Berry aside, is to, you know, like, make sure that everyone is everyone earns their win.
Well, if he goes benchmark, those horses are still going around 5 lengths faster than they went in the previous start. So by him just going benchmark, he's asking a bigger question of those horses. I think it picks itself. Remember now, we've mentioned it was that Joe Pride horse many years ago, Mark, that
Adaf.
No, it was something else. It was in the blue colour, in those Denendry blue colours, I think. That a horse that's gone up in distance that can come back on pace and run at a slower pace that they've gone up in distance is and especially when they're up and running and you know that they can churn out decent enough numbers for it, it's just impossible to get past. So I just think he just jumps, runs. If Tommy doesn't stuff it up and just controls it nicely.
Tommy leading scares me.
It does scare me, but it's you know, it is Tommy.
Look, he's eminently likeable in this race.
I just think it picks itself. I think it just jumps on the bunny, keeps going, conserves energy, pisses off and says, see you later, wins by 4.
Wins by 4, wow. So you're rather
do you want to do anything? I've already asked you, and you said you only pick Centre Pivot or Dora Beale.
I've got Foreign Prince that just with finding it. It's a race I'm not overly keen in. I think he's the best horse and gets a similar run here. They probably go a little bit harder, but should probably suit him. He'll just follow him. He should be too good. I know this Cobalt thing's going around, but so if you're worried about Cobalt, we just can't bet.
No, I'm not worried about it. I'm saying it's on the board. I mean, like, you know, there's
Mourinho was one that tested positive as well, didn't he? And
no, not to Cobalt. No, God, no.
He had something else.
Oh, freaking, he had nothing. No. Don't go down that path again, please. That was the whole Peter Gilligatis versus the horse tested positive to having a paste on the side of his mouth that was issued the day before.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, he tested positive to nothing. Anyway.
So Dow's keen on Foreign Prince.
Yes.
I'm not really keen on much.
Look, I went around the world and arrived. Started with Foreign Prince and arrived at Adora Beale, who's third up at last crack. I just,
I think third up soft track, just like the soft side.
But she's an acceptor at Wyong on Sunday, so we may not even see her.
Good. But the softer track, the sting out doesn't hurt Foreign Prince's chances.
No. It's just that I see Foreign Prince there with Mara Nostra keeping him company, and I wanted to see. I wanted to back something that had the drop on those.
Okay. Beautiful. All right. Well, that's how we see.
I thought the soft track was ideal for Foreign Prince.
Yeah. That's how we see it. Race 3 is the 1400 metres for the new season 3-year-olds. River Wild, very short, $1.90-ish. Let's Make It Rain, $5 thereabouts. Woodang Man on $6. They're the ones under double figures at the moment. River Wild. Devil Hawk is $10. Mark, from the pace that River Wild showed at Kembla, should just jump across and lead. Is that about right?
Well, what do you mean the pace it showed? It led.
Well, it's faster than these horses.
Yeah, look, and there's no doubt about the intent either in the draw, and look, it's all good. So it's all good.
Did he go that fast?
It's 2.5 lengths above average, really, which is faster than any of these horses have gone.
Yeah, so these horses are running slowly run races.
Yes.
River Wild will ensure that this is a genuinely run race.
Mm-hmm.
He's 1,300 up to 1,400. He's drawn wide. Ahieronymus is the go-to man in this sort of circumstance to cross the field and take up the running and keep running. Lots to like about River Wild. Not a lot to like about the price.
It is. I mean, it is. I mean, I don't know.
In a race where there are horses that are promising sort of horses.
I can't believe the price. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh no! If it was,
we've seen this before.
Okay. Well,
we've seen bunny winners at Kembla.
Come there and look,
by a big space. We said them all the time. In fact.
And
the day was rather suited.
It's yeah.
And Adam isn't, hasn't ridden a lot of odds-on favourites in Sydney yet, late.
Yeah. Well, it's inconceivable with the odds-on.
All right, okay, well, let's go through them then. Let's Make It Rain, well back last start, up and running.
Watch what you get.
That's it.
Sits outside lead.
Yeah, which is it's not ideal.
Just off lead somewhere.
Yeah, probably without cover.
What you see is what you get, which isn't, is we're not, it's a benchmark horse, it's an average horse. Correct? Okay. Selena Del Rey, Vanbro is Let's Make It Rain minus a length or two. Devil Hawk.
Well, hang on. Vanbro is suspect, but he's also not been suited at all.
Yeah, I thought
slowly run race. Found the rails with G. Schofield the other day. Vanbro gets a race to show whether he's capable or not.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, there's not the point that you made on the Monday show. SPs and wins and all that sort of stuff. He is tied to Let's Make It Rain, isn't he? So
but Let's Make It Rain perfectly suited the other day.
Has had the opportunity, yeah.
And look, I'm not saying, we don't like Let's Make It Rain, so therefore Vanbro wins. Vanbro beats him home.
Yeah.
That's
basically
the pearl.
The disparity between the $13 and I think the point in play here is $13 versus $5-ish is too much of a gap between those two.
I think so.
Yeah. And if he ever gets a chance to run a race, I think this should be his race where he's going to get a run to suit. Mm-hmm. And we'll see whether he is or isn't a horse.
Okay, Devil Hawk.
Well, returned very well as a... was he gelded? I don't know what happened.
No, he's not gelded.
No. He had a tongue tie on. He had a gear change of some kind.
Was it Blinker's first time?
Oh, I think it was a tongue tie.
It might have been tongue ties, one of the two. He already had the Blinkers possibly.
Returned well, had no form prior to that. Much is made of the fact that the horse that started at $1.30 has won since. Well, did start at $1.30. But you know, as Aaron has pointed out, it seems a horse that will attract attention because it's such a stylish return.
I always had a good rap on the horse. If you see him at the time, he's a real big, strong tyre. He almost should have won or run second on debut. He just had no luck on debut.
At Randwick?
At Randwick, yeah, I think it's the Kenzo, was it, or Randwick?
Randwick.
Yeah, it was Randwick, over 1100 where he wasn't suited. He's come back a lot better. He looks a more seasoned 3-year-old. I reckon he's almost double the odds that he should be. I'm surprised he's not close to the favourite.
Okay. And Woodang Mountain.
Yeah, I'm also a fan of him. I'm willing to forgive the run the other day. He copped a check. A few little things went wrong and he kind of got a little bit lost.
He was in the wrong lane. He
was in the wrong lane too. Yeah. But he copped the check. I'm willing to forgive the run and see him improve here. I thought they're the two that and his trial between ones was good. Yeah.
And then of course Waller has got the wild card Spiritos, who obviously they were falling over.
One of the old win at big odds away Waller play.
But it was astonishing, wasn't it?
It was it looked, I just hate its action. But to its win, like the way that it flew home did look appealing to the eye.
Like it flew home, nothing else came.
Yeah, nothing else really come. It's awful action that throws me off.
Okay. No. Well, I mean, surely it's got to have some fans at 1400 at home anyway.
It's just the run prior on the wet track was the thing that scares me. I know it's not going to be super wet, but the fact that it didn't go any good on the wet track, then improved significantly on a good track, going back to some sort of a wet track has to be query for me.
And then we've got Salerno, who comes out of a very, very high class race, obviously got walloped, but second up with blinkers on. The only horse I consider not backing here is Judea. Or if not, let's make it rain.
Unless Team Hawks has found their...
so Dallas, you're keen on the favourite. What price do you want?
I don't know if I could actually back it. My question is, it's a Fastnet Rock, so I want to see it, and they can be absolutely not wet track horses. Not that I'm really worried about wet trackers tomorrow, but I don't want to see a very, very big, strong tyre.
I think he is very big.
Yeah, so that could be against it. And look, I mean, with all due respect to Adam, I couldn't take a short course Adam. Especially a horse who's going to cross and lead, he's going to go too fast. He's second run, 1400 metres.
Would you rather on this horse, Adam Hieronymus or Tommy Berry?
Neither.
But no, who would you rather?
No, you have to pick between the two. Yeah, well, I think it's not a bad choice at all.
Exactly. I don't think he's a bad choice because he's one rider that will just go.
But I've seen Adam put a few gay horses to the sword too, get a little bit overconfident on them as well too. Doesn't matter how good you are, or how much you got on. If you're going 8 lengths above for the first bit, you're going to drop out. It doesn't have that much on him, but from what we have, what it did at Kembla was better than what these horses can do. Does that make sense?
As you've seen so far.
As you said so well, yeah.
Yeah, my point about it, there are Waller horses here that have not been shown to advantage yet.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, cool. All right, so anyone, that's the only play I could have is River Wild.
Right, I'm not betting in the race, but I can I think it's an interesting race.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I'll be backing Devil Hawk and Woodang Mountain, and if River
Devil Hawk does look, from my point of view, Devil Hawk does look big odds.
Yeah.
It's the second pick, and I'm happy to throw Let's Make It Rain and Van Bro and those, and even your horse Woodang Mountain. I can see that it was not much good against Hugh on and all that sort of business, but I think,
I just think at Riverwild's current price, for me, it's way too short, but if it was to get out, then it could be other than...
No, but I agree with you, Devil Hawk is too big. Devil Hawk should be clear second pick as far as I'm concerned.
Alright,
okay.
The Premier's Cup.
You beauty. It is over 1800 metres, and Magic Hurricane 350, Silver Ball 460, Kapoor $4, $5 Beyond Thankful. They're all around about the mark. Spurtonic $6.50. Mark, does Spurtonic try to lead this week?
Surely it has to.
You'd think so now. Yeah, I think fourth up, Gay back in town.
There was a problem in the start from an inside gate the other day.
But they did go pretty fast.
And they went fast. So we've got a situation where the Prelude was run clippity-clop. And the Real Thing promises to be a steadily run race.
Yes.
And so Spurtonic looks to take it up. Beyond Thankful loses his low draw to track the leader.
Kapoor fresh, but back from 2400 metres. Probably tries to be there, yeah.
Like, fuck me drunk.
Yeah.
Please, leave me alone.
Yeah, we've had our Kapoor turn, haven't we? Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
You're not happy with it? Okay.
Like,
He's a good trainer, Kieran, bro.
I know he's
I'm
a
a
good
big
trainer.
fan
This
of
is
the trainer.
1800.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Right? 2400 on the bog.
Yeah.
And then the Grafton Cup, which doesn't count.
Yeah, yep.
Right?
Yep.
All those poor bastards that went and backed that horse at Warwick Farm off the Grafton Cup. What was that horse? It was midweek, Dale, so
Yeah.
you probably don't remember.
Yeah.
It was trained by one of the Warwick Farm trainers, Jared Austin. Anyway, Grafton Cup doesn't count. Does not count. So, you know, you're left with the horses that had the unfortunate 1400 metre barrier trial a fortnight ago.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
exactly.
unfortunate in relation to this
well,
race.
It's plus 400, and we're talking about Magic Hurricane and Silver Ball. It's plus 400 metres and it's a 600 metre run. So they haven't really got a grounding here to go 400 metres up, do they? It's dangerous territory for those two. There's not a good grounding.
Well, yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. You know, they're better horses in this race than the Prelude throws up.
Yeah,
But you know they've got a compromised lead up.
absolutely.
We've got Beyond Thankful, who dead set. You know, Huey did everything fucking right on the other day. Probably a backable proposition tomorrow, simply because of the price.
Up, running and fit and doing the job, isn't he? You know.
Yeah, but I mean,
I
you
had
know,
to go against him. I had to mark him $10.
right. So we're okay.
Okay, so
talk to me about
I'm
talk to me
going
about
to-
what takes up the percentage here then.
Yeah, I'm marking the two horses that you said are terribly suited. They've just got too much on this field for mine. They've had another run. Yes, it might have been a soft run, but it was enough of a run for mine. I think they get their chance here. They should just be too good for this field. Beyond Thankful. Like nothing more could have gone right for him in that race just about last start, and he shouldn't have even won the race.
No, but he's still performing well. He's still running.
We need a Hieronymus on Spurtonic here.
That's
Tommy
right. Yeah,
pulls out.
yeah, exactly.
Because T. Berry.
Well, we need Tommy Berry to actually ask questions here, because if he puffed us in front on Spurtonic, well, that does allow Magic Hurricane and Silver Ball into the race. But if he actually goes a good gay couple of lengths above tempo and keep it going without anchor dropping, those two horses are going to be asked a couple of questions.
Yeah, it's an interesting race on that. Do you have a preference for your two classy types? Silver Ball, Magic Hurricane?
In this race, I'm leaning towards Magic Hurricane, only for the fact that what we've seen of those Shays horses that they haven't been looking rather forward, bar the top echelon of the Godolphin stable. He was one that looked more forward for my liking. A lot of improvement in him, but he looked more forward. With Silver Ball, I thought had a lot.
Silver Ball's giving the impression that Chris is doing something with him for longer distances, isn't it?
There was no coin for him the other day.
Yeah, it just has the feel that this is all warm-up-ish stuff for something further down the track.
Okay.
I think the Metropolitan will be its
Is
go.
that right? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go back to Spurtonic. Prefer it bone dry, but I think, as we said, going to that previous race, which that race is not too bad. The numbers out of that race are strong. It's solid. They're fit. Gay's back in town. She's been back for now 2 weeks, so she should screw it right down. Hopefully, screw Tommy down to some really strong instructions about not frigging around in front. And I'd prefer it on a dry track, but yeah, he does now really. He did look that run behind last time. He's had that extra run, and yeah, he gets his chance to pull that pants down.
Eminently likeable here for all the things you've stated.
I'm not super keen or anything like that, but I think the other two I don't like that sort of setup, and especially I don't like that setup for O'Shea horses. O'Shea needs to be, for his best training, 2 weeks, building at a normal type thing. You can roll your eyes as much as you like, Aaron, but how many times I've been proved right in saying that, as opposed to you rolling your eyes over there. I'll back myself against you every time, and I'll be in front.
We do just need Glenn on the show now.
And I'll be in front.
No bet for me in this race.
He's a new stable now,
of...
so I'm counting him as a new trainer.
Good luck. Let's see how they go.
Yes, no bet for me on account of the fraughtness that's been encountered in this race.
Yes, it is a fraudness, isn't it? All right, we might even make it easier for Matt and just do this all in one part now. Let's keep going. Here's the MTA New South Wales Run to the Rose over 1,200 metres. Sees Japanese me favourite, $2.40-ish, and the rest of them, well, press statement extra fear about 7-2, Holler 6-1, and yeah, whatever.
Right, so Raphael's Cat is in the van tomorrow. Holler, who's had a slightly unusual preparation given that he resumed in the winter, lit up since and 2 trials. Looks to go and sit outside him. Japanised me by box seats, Reds all 1 out 1 back. Press statement. Goes back to midfield, Exosphere and Mr. Optimistic out the back. Dallas, what do we say about the Canterbury numbers of Raphael's Cat?
Good. Very good.
Yes, he
second pick in race.
well, he will be back tomorrow on account of returning some outstanding numbers at Canterbury. I think they need to be tested on account of him doing it on the bus.
Yeah. Well, I think as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, whatever, the way that we're looking at, well, we've learnt to look at Warwick Farm and Canterbury numbers. They can be good numbers, but they also need something to back them up. You can see them. You can see like on the data charts of all the horses that they're Canterbury, Warwick Farm. But if they've got other numbers to back them up, that gives them substance. At the moment, Raphael's Cat's resumed second prep. The numbers there, but to make it real, it needs something else.
So he's got no other numbers from his other.
Well, but it's not.
He's returned in his second preparation.
Yeah, second preparation.
So it's quite feasible that could happen.
Yeah, the first preparation could not count.
And he did, like the trial with Haptic was...
But he did the same thing before he was backed off the map. And I've been saying this and she scares me. Gay is the best at giving them a quiet trial, but not in the fact of quiet hidden. They are flat out. They look like they cannot go. They look like camels.
Sorry, where did it look like it couldn't go?
In the trial.
With Haptic?
Yeah, I thought it looked awful.
Fucking fast times, like supremely fast times. Triple cross.
Yeah, I didn't
right?
Like it.
You would judge that trial against a trial where they go 10 lengths slower and
No,
go,
not necessarily. I just go against the horses that were also winning.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. So Raphael's Cat was flat out.
Yeah, he looks flat out. But yeah, like I said, she is the master. River Wild, his trials were good without looking like a superstar. He comes out and wins by 6. You understand what I'm saying?
So you're
sometimes
saying
you
that
find them, sometimes I don't. It's just, she's very tricky to find.
Do you think that this is a bunny horse then? Like, did he? What was the setup in the trial for him to be looking so pedestrian?
I'm not sure. I think he'll go straight to the front here. He'll keep running, but I think the other horses will be classier than him. And I can't find him on this track. If it's rail 6 metres dry track, I'd be able to find him. But when it's rail true, the cuts out of the track, which usually, in my opinion, means that the fence is really not the place to be, I'm finding it hard to really find him.
If he didn't have Holler on his outside, that would be...
Because then he could roll out in the middle of the track, as you told me.
Japanise me, Dal, you're in the van of knowledge.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think
1200. What do we say?
Oh yeah, perfect. Best last 800 metre of the day last start. So that's the indicator we want to go up in distance. When there's no point running time doing that. People see the point. One of the first points you made on the show. All right. Okay, so our camera just stopped then because the memory was full, so we weren't really sure where it stopped. But just to proceed, Raphael's Cat has returned good numbers at Canterbury. All sort of positive about what it did. Obviously need to see it outside of Canterbury, but is in the race. Exosphere and Hollow, you were saying you expect them to be a little bit not really forward, and set for the whatever. But you think they're decent horses. Mark and I aren't waving the blue flag.
No, we're not. But and Japanise me, what you see is what you get, which is outstanding.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I was just making the point when I had a look at it there with Exosphere and Press Statement. The numbers that, in our point of view, that Japanisme has run, it's 3-4 lengths better than what they've done in the past. Japanisme is up and running and no reason to expect it not to return those numbers again. So they've got to come and try and do a career best first up against a rock hard fit horse by 4 lengths just to get to it. And that for me is too much of a gap and makes it...
So, but Press Statement has a Zoo Star look about him or not?
He probably possibly does. He can probably improve. He did well in the first prep. He's a lovely horse.
I do remember Dallas's comment from the yard, holy fuck, that's a horse.
Yeah, I think, how the hell did this horse start 21 in its first start, I think, and I keep maintaining it. It is a sensational horse, it's a cracking type, but still, the Japanisme is real deal. The others aren't yet. Yeah.
So what does that mean, a cracking type, in relation to the future? Because I mean, you've just said that Exosphere and Vancouver
It might mean that there might not be as much left there. You know, it's not as if it came out as a gangly 2-year-old that's going to improve a lot, because it looks like it's lost its mark.
I don't think you explained it as well as what I think your question is. You can be a cracky type with a horse that hasn't completely developed yet, like a horse is going to be. And Dallas's point was it was a ready-made 2-year-old that was big.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of those horses that we've spoken about, Exosphere.
So they were the
Vancouver.
Tongans at school.
Yeah, they're the Tongans in the
yeah.
under-16s. Yeah, exactly right. They're going to score a lot of tries there, but when you get up to first grade and you start getting hit by boys your same size and you need a bit of skill, we don't exactly turn up as much. But in saying that, those horses too are outstanding types and are always going to be outstanding types. The other horses are still going to develop into outstanding types as well too. So it's a bit yes and no.
He was one that was quite gangly still and not prestatement.
Yeah, still but I mean that was all first prep, so he can improve. But my point is they've got to improve too much to get Japanesni tomorrow.
Yes, and just one last comment, because this is the race of the day, obviously. Rosehill did little first up.
And was tuned up enough, wasn't he?
No, I disagree.
You don't think
I
so?
thought they were when he first walked in, I went, yeah, he's well enough to win. But they went so hard that you really needed to be ready to win.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then as he's walked out to the yard, he's completely sweated up and fallen to pieces a bit.
Okay.
So he was rather quite fat inside.
And he was
I'm giving him one.
He was the victim
chance.
of that, like
he wasn't in the right. It didn't really work, did it?
He over-raced early on the inside.
It just didn't work for him. Yeah, no, it's a fair call. But
he had that ridiculous trial where he's run the fastest last 150 of all time.
Yeah.
Because they've
just jiggy jogged, yeah. So, and it was only a 700-metre trial.
Yeah.
So he wasn't really prepped for it, was he?
No.
So yeah, I mean he's probably there.
The going, not that it's going to be overly wet, but I think he could be one that actually enjoys the cutout of the track.
Yeah,
so I'm expecting big improvement in $10.
But then again, if you go back to the logical point to be, is that Japanesni has done just as good on the heavy and the dry, and his number last start isn't in isolation. He's best of the day, best of the second best of the day, best of the day. So he's got,
of course.
And that's
well,
on.
Thank God he's drawn barrier 1, Dal.
Yeah, because it gives it a challenge.
Us a race.
Hubert there, bang, bingo. Thank you. Over the top of Raphael's cap and Adam Hieronymus almost winning. Race 6, 1100 metres. Vezelay isn't going around. It's in Melbourne. Mahiri 50 Shades of Grey 550. Sultry Feeling also 550 around about that mark. Next picks Supara and Felines. Mark, who does what here?
This could be faster. It could, I like Freeze the Charges, obviously. Designated leader, bang. No drama there. She takes it up.
Absolute Empress, not far away.
Yeah, but she's back in distance, Absolute Empress. I mean, she's not a short courser.
No, and the brown one, too from that line. Yeah.
The brown one.
Yeah.
Country Cuddy.
Yeah, exactly. But they might they will have a look. You might as well.
It's not like I'm saying this is not like you look,
no,
generally look at a field of 13.
Yeah, no.
At 1100 of fillies and mares, and you go yes.
Yeah, no, exactly. But it's not. It's not game on.
But I mean, they also will get the back markers do look to get a sympathetic track. So I had Freezer Charges, Designated Leader, Absolute Empress. Felines may use its inside draw. Cedar on pace.
Will be closer tomorrow.
Arwa Cedar on pace and the brown one on pace. Supara, who is a horse that I have some time for, but looks horridly drawn here. Sultry Feeling looks fantastically drawn. Amazing. Tomorrow's D-Day for her, Sultry Feeling.
It's a clear top pick for me.
But I mean, if she disappoints you tomorrow, it's never ever.
She has had a lot of excuse runs, but she shouldn't get the excuses tomorrow, and she should either do what she can do or just be a horse that leads everyone on.
So you were saying?
So Mahiri is it in the race, Dal?
If Mahiri's in the race, it wins it easily. If it's not, it's not. Yeah. So that's the problem.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, I don't know.
Based on what we've been seeing over the last 3 weeks.
It's very. I mean, I think to back a horse, you've got to have to see them come back first, don't you? I mean, our numbers would have Mahiri winning this by 3 or 4 lengths if it was right, and can go first up, and can do this, and I mean, this is it just does. But I would have thought from that stable now, the only time to back them is 3rd, 4th up when you've got the real handle on them, don't you? Maybe save on it because it's got that much on the field, but is your main play. I don't care what they look like, how they present, whatever. You just can't be with them. Lake Geneva looked okay last week, and then it just did not go a centimetre.
Yeah, it went horrendous.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're not
50 Shades of Grey, of course, is a horse that was tied to Mahiri last preparation, but has gone on with it.
I don't think they're the same class of horse. I wouldn't have thought 50 Shades of Grey.
And what?
Yeah,
And Mahiri.
Oh no, Mahiri's better.
I wouldn't have thought that she was 3 lengths above a lot of these horses, but
At the best, I reckon.
one thing 50 Shades of Grey gets, it gets a cut out of the track which it likes. It's 1100 Rosehill, which it seems to like. It gets those ticks. Other than that, I don't like backing these swooper flying from the back with the big weight.
They're low percentage.
I don't like backing them with 59 kilos.
All right, so do we just back Sultry Feeling then?
Yes, and I am going to have... The 3 horses I'm interested in are Sultry Feeling, Clear on Top, trials well. It has form from last prep that's to say it can win a race like this easily. Supara is a horse that looks rather wound up. I saw her at track work with Nick. Like she's gay, fit.
Yeah, well, we're gonna.
My only
I think we're
query
gonna.
with those horses that they're gay, fit like this, and I think we saw it with Pornichet, and that was my point. Was when they're like that, they can be a little bit dour,
Yeah,
so
that's
that
right.
they don't sprint fresh.
Yeah, that's very
but
cool.
they can win 3rd, 4th up,
Yep.
and they rock and
What's
roll.
her going like, Supara?
I don't know much. I've never.
Because but it was her Warwick Farm run that was the good run.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
yeah. I've never really gravitated towards it, to be true.
I'm still asking.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you had to be a fan of the horse.
No.
I'm just saying.
But when I
is
say
she a
never,
miler? Is she?
I don't know. I've not, when I say never gravitated to her, I've never really had any time for her, and so therefore.
The trials say that she's going very, very well.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to look at her. I am interested to look at her.
I just brush over her just about every
and
time.
Sabrina is a horse that I
More
overlooked
dirty
originally.
blonde.
I've come up with the 2nd pick.
Sabrina.
Yeah, I know it sounds weird. Oaks
No,
Group
it's
1100.
not. It's not, because you have a look at that run at Randwick in the what's the 1400 metre race that's
The
slightly
James
sweet.
Carr?
Yeah, James Carr.
Yeah.
That run tells you Sabrina's story, doesn't it? I mean, and so 1100 first up is quite reasonable.
I think it is.
You know,
It's
she
just with the
accidentally
one
went to
trial.
the Oaks.
Yeah. She went to the Oaks because I think Bjorn, being like the Kiwi trainers, like to take horses to Derbies and Oaks.
Right.
Anyway,
I think she's a miler. I think she'll be set for mile races this prep, and I think 1100 first up should be fine. I just do get a little bit scared that she could be a little bit far off them.
Felines, can it do something? Jimmy, the great combination of Jimmy Cassidy, Barrier 1. You know, is it in the bin just because of that, or is it? This run the other day wasn't too bad.
We track 1100 suits.
Yeah,
but
up the
yeah.
just not too far out of it the other day, but far enough out of it to be a little bit lost.
Could be one of those rides where if they start fanning wide on the track, Jimmy just does the hold up the inside.
Yeah, as long as everybody's within about, not giving him about 3 metres.
Yep.
Press report.
Well, press report is set up. You know, a lot of people want to cast aspersions on her as being not, you know,
Well placed in this race.
well. Yeah, she's well placed in this race.
All right.
I think it promises to be a good betting race, and it'll be interesting to see how the ring treats a horse that, based on her run to Catkins last preparation, would be favoured, but may not be with us. That's Mahiri.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's exactly right. Exactly right.
She
Anyway.
run 3rd to Catkins.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got. As I said, she's got them covered, but.
And then she should have won that race or finished a hell of a lot closer at Randwick to Brianto.
Yeah, which is yeah, exactly,
So,
yeah.
it's interesting.
Oh, she's yeah. Anyway, all right.
It doesn't bear talking about, Dale. Move on.
No, it doesn't. All right, just a reminder, just check out all the packages. Plenty of stuff happening across the board. Most of everything has been flying of late. Marked stuff, A-speed profiles, mounting yard mail, all the $10 services. But the packages is where you want to have a bit of a look at this week and see what value you can get by buying up for the next.
Bundle and save.
Bundle and save, limited offer, whilst stocks last. Don't miss out, and also remember the tournament. Of course, the big Memsey tournament on tomorrow. Memsey Stakes Day tournament. Race 7. Berrimella is running here because it has been scratched from Melbourne. Whoa.
It's exciting.
That is. We're almost getting to swooping time, aren't we? Yeah, so it seems. Barramillo $7, Tolly Delusion's about the same. His Majesty about $3 or thereabouts, and $4.60 for Artistry. Mark.
Right, so it looks a bit steady. Sabino Speed is our leader, and for an on-pace horse, he hasn't led many times in his life. His Majesty looks to box seat. Artistry looks to trail the lead. Passion Flower, I'd suggest, is ridden forward tomorrow rather than back as Blake did at Canterbury.
Yep.
And the next best is Mark's Legacy, which tells you that there's not much happening up front.
No. Okay, so not much happening up front. What are we saying? Well, let's just work. Barramilla, Holy Delusions. Anything to say about that? We really can't. What
well, they are. Sorry, I should have mentioned that they'll be written forward from below draws.
Okay. All right. So they're
from below draw to a change of tactics. Chris Waller has announced that Barramilla and Holy Delusions will be written more forward because of their good barriers.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Well, can we add anything to them? We just know what they're going to do. They're going to be there. They're
going to be Barramilla just ahead of midfield. Holy Delusions midfield.
Yeah. They'll run on and blah blah blah. All right. Let's go to His Majesty then. 2-1 favourite or thereabouts. Mark, is that or Aaron? What are we saying?
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah. It looks the obvious go-to horse, doesn't it?
Barry 1.
Barry 1's a worry. Yes.
Barry 1. And
Tommy Berry is the worry.
Scratch Me Lucky. Is that a worry? On the 6 metre rail a fortnight ago, Scratch Me Lucky, 3 deep at the back of the field. Here he keeps coming.
Yes.
He's my top pick in this race.
Who?
Scratch Me Lucky. Wide, wanted to be on the inside. He was 3 wide without cover and just kept coming. I think he's just slowly been ticking over, improving with each run. And
how many runs does he need?
I think he's actually fit and ready now.
Okay,
so you've observed he was rather fat. Like he was really fat.
Right, so you've observed him to steadily trim down. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's steadily trimmed down. I just think when he gets a run where he's going to be a little bit more suited, he should just be sitting in that just better than midfield.
Yeah, I saw him as being the problem for the lead up rather than the answer to the lead up, which is the alternative case, and I can see why you'd say that.
There was a day where you wanted to be on the inside, 3 wide without cover the whole
way. No doubt. He defied the bias.
Yeah. But
the point I was making was
that boxes the race.
That boxes the race, but you're saying, well, he defied the bias, therefore he's a genuine contender.
Well, I'm saying it's a good. I like the race because I think the horse that won the race is very good.
But he defied a lot of things too to win.
Yeah.
I think Start Wondering did what he needed to do. I'm worried about the fact that Radical Impact led that race. I'm worried about a lot of things about that race.
Yeah, I think the winner was better than him. The winner had a lot of things that went against him. The winner was first up. I think the winner's got length in that field, and comparing the winner to that field, I think he's wrong.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. So His Majesty looks to get the right. You're worried about gate 1. I'm not so worried about gate 1 for the simple fact that by this stage in the day, I'm assuming they are going to be getting right.
And then barrier 1 actually can become an advantage by this time of the day.
This is one of the horses.
And it's a style. Yeah, exactly. It's a style that you want to be on Tommy Berry.
He sits there.
Tommy Berry a lot
tomorrow.
They
travel for him, and this is a race where it looks suited. They were the 2 horses that I was kind of keen on.
Right. So what do you say about Artistry, a horse that since coming from Graham Begg has had 4 runs for the Snowdens, and all 4 runs
have been outstanding.
Have been as meritorious as they can be. I mean, it resumed for a win in a maiden at Newcastle, and then it was just hopelessly put out of play in a race behind Najum, and then it bumped into Najum on her absolute game day, and then it returned and was given a
cracking ride.
T. Hewitt did no favours on it.
And it's still
Burning Passion had that complete and absolute drop on it, and it had just held Burning Passion at bay almost nonchalantly.
Yeah. She trolled outstanding leading into the race. She looked like she's in for a big prep, and she ran accordingly to her trial. Yeah, I find her here too. They're the 3. They are the 3 key.
Because there's a fair bit of fodder here, isn't there?
Yep.
Yes, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? There is the fodder. Anyway, so we've Downstown Charlie, your old mate, resuming for Kim Moore.
No.
What about Dowdston, eh? First run for a new trainer.
No.
1400 if it had just
D-Payne off.
D-Payne off.
I don't know if
and
that's
what
a
about the
plus.
fact that it's at bloody 50 runs at 1600 or 1500 or plus, which it doesn't get?
Yeah, exactly. Right distance.
The
there it
old
is.
lurker.
Bit of a
The
sting out of the track.
Charlie.
If it was heavy.
Jay Lloyd not on it.
Let's not talk about that day.
Yeah. Plenty of things happening.
Nightmares.
All right, okay. All right, there it is. All right, let's lift His Majesty. So, deserved favourite, Mark.
No, I think
No?
I think His Majesty's Day was the other day. So
Okay.
I've taken an alternative view, but I mean I can see why.
And so, what's your main area then?
Artistry,
Artistry.
which is an up and comer, lightly raced,
Yep.
and the wild card is Dowdston Charlie.
Okay.
For me.
My
Perfect.
wild card Shigaroo sender. The old
Yeah,
Shigaroo.
yes, you've got to.
Well,
you got to get rid of
know.
some numbers in your phone, Aaron. Race 8 wraps us up. It is ins and outs. Short price favourite, around touching almost 2-1 at the moment, isn't it, Aaron? $6, 6-1. Darcy Wood, Wild and Famous around about that same price. Turbulent Jet around about that same price. Snippets Land around about that same price. And there we go, Mark. Leading them up is ins and outs, or does he?
Well,
who's his
Gerald
mates?
gets his wish tomorrow, and be careful what you wish for, hey?
What, that he gets?
That he takes a trail.
Yep.
Because Wild and Famous looks revved up here.
Yep.
I mean, he didn't start his career out like I'm thinking about him zooming to the lead here in a Saturday race, but I'm thinking the way that his career has progressed and where he's starting out from here, that he's taking it up. Ins and outs trails. And then you're desperate. Then you're extremely desperate. Dream choice? Mr. Entertainer?
Mr. Entertainment, probably, yeah, exactly. Snippers Land, maybe, thereabouts.
What?
Yeah, no, but thereabouts.
Havana, maybe.
Havana, maybe, yeah.
Havana's a maybe.
Yeah.
The way off his trials would say Havana's going to be right there.
Yeah. All right, okay. So there it is. That's what's happening in front.
Well, it's just not a great scenario. I suppose, maybe it's all right. Maybe Wild and Famous is setting a decent clip. There's a stablemate in the race.
Yeah. Stablemate, same owners, isn't it? So, I think so.
Yeah. Looks that way.
All right.
Look,
Okay. So what are we saying about ins and outs? Who is the dominant favourite? Who came to fitness?
He's up and running,
yeah.
and he's got a serious run under his belt that.
Yeah, serious run with 3 weeks in between it too, which I think is good too, because he did
Just
push.
look, I'd love to be. I mean, I'm in the ins and outs. Look, I've gone there. I've made the play. I just wish it wasn't such a had all favours sort of scenario last time. Like where he just controlled everything, and I wish he actually did something special as opposed to winning the race by 4 lengths because
everyone saw it.
Yeah, well, maybe not so much everyone saw it, but I mean.
It's not like they put him up evens though, like you're getting close to 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1's available. Yeah.
Alright, so anything else to say about the race?
Well, I'd him equal top 10 with a horse who's been trialled exceptional, and I think if he gets anywhere near his best can win in Havana. I think
Strange sort of thing, isn't it? So what's been the problems with him last year?
yeah, maybe Paul Massara just couldn't get him right last prep.
No, he wasn't with Paul Massara last week, was he?
It may not have
Oh,
been.
no, was he with
It's
Hawks?
changed stable.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's back
He's
with
back to-
Paul.
Back to
with
Paul
Massara.
Massara, sorry.
So
He
is
was
that
with
the
Hawks,
answer?
Yeah. All I know is from last prep, he didn't look to be going at his best.
Yeah.
He was
He
showing
couldn't
glimpses.
walk last prep.
Yeah.
No, he
Couldn't walk.
There was one good run. There was one very good
Which
run.
one?
There. I'll tell you.
There's 4 of them. I'm not seeing a good one.
I thought he. Oh no, sorry, you're right.
He hasn't done anything for a prep and a half.
You don't know.
But I mean,
That's a
look,
prep
he can come good. I agree
Yes.
with you.
Yeah,
he
I
can
know.
come good.
If
But
you're choosing that
so
play,
equal top pick. This horse had a 9-month spell. He couldn't walk last preparation, and he's equal top pick.
yes.
He must have 20 lengths on this field then.
He promised to have that early in his career.
Old form is old form is old form.
Old form is old form.
I wish you well. I wish you well, but I mean, seriously, you
Other
deserve
than-
20-1 here, not.
Well, you are. You're getting 30, so I think 30 to 1's a good risk and a good gamble.
I'm not arguing with that point.
And I think getting back to the fact that you're saying it's going to be closer to a dry track than a heavy track, it's going to be
it's going to be bang in the middle. Probably.
Yeah, it's bang in the middle.
Bang in the middle. I just get the feel that this horse is back to its best. Like you said, last prep.
Yep. Okay.
He kind of he wasn't right last prep.
Yep.
He looks to have come back good. If he's anywhere near his best, in my opinion, he's good enough to win this. He's raced against far better horses in all of these at better levels, and if he's anywhere near his best, he looks to get the right run from the gate.
All right.
And he could beat them.
No, I'm not going to put cold water on Havana. It's sort of a.
It's a wild card.
It is a wild card. Wild card is the way to do it, and it's a wild card that if you got in your pocket, I think 30 to 1's not a bad price. We spoke about international. What about Darcy Wood? Now, Darcy Wood is, if those who haven't heard, paraded very well for a 1,000 metre turnout first up, and then actually lost fitness second up. Looked like nothing had been done with it. No surprise to see it run, or like it did, and did not participate type run.
But has it joined its stablemates in the in the going on strike?
I don't know. I think it's performed for the way that it presented and for how it actually did still finish off okay. I think it's actually performed above what it did. So it might be
because it had very, very unfortunate circumstances.
Oh, it had nothing. It just couldn't win.
Well, the configuration of the race was terrible.
It couldn't win from where it was, and it's done probably well enough. Aaron will be interested to see how it parades.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he's got that glow back in his coat and looks healthy again.
Well, and if he's maybe...
What's his going like? Like, we saw him win at 1,200 at Randwick. That was... Remember, old mate was forced to take it up. It was sort of like it was a reluctant tempo. Yeah. And Darcy would just cuddle up.
Just went bang. I think something like that. I think Randwick railed through, down, hitting the lane. That's probably his go. And I think beyond 1,000 metres is his go too. So the 1,200 metres is better.
1,000 metres just wasn't his go.
Oh, the second up 1,000 metres just had everything looking like it was. Yeah, you know, like he hadn't done any work, and that was to get him ready for this maybe, or ready for something else.
I think third up 1,200 looks ideal.
Yeah, it'll be very yard for that horse.
It'll be interesting to see if the money starts coming in for the stable.
For the stable, well, that'll be the good indicator, won't it?
Yeah.
And Wild and Famous, we spoke about it. Is it just there as a bunny, or does anyone have an opinion of it?
It's just there as a bunny. It's a midweek horse at best.
Yeah, I'm not.
What do you say about Medal? It's one that's made the.
Well, why is Joey was, properly seriously Joey at his first run, Medal midweek beating Ralston at Warwick Farm, 2 trials, scratched a couple of times. Remember, we were tipping him and he never turned up.
Yep.
Disappears for a spell, comes back just 1 trial.
Yeah. It was a good trial. It was a very, very good trial. Interesting that it's just the one.
Is there anyone that doesn't trial well apart from Gay's horses?
Gay's horses trial well. Gay does that night. Bournechet's trialled well.
Right, but I mean the only poor trial is the ones from Gay.
No, there's a lot of poor trial ones.
But we don't get to see them. We don't get to talk about them because it's not a Wednesday.
I just tend not to mention them if they've trialled crap.
Okay. So Medal has trialled well enough to be tuned up, given that it resumed at 11 with 2 trials.
Is it forward enough to be first up on a wet track on a Saturday when it's only run a midweek? No, I don't know.
No.
Do I know how forward it is? No, I don't know how forward.
No, look, I'm happy to. I don't know. I'm probably happy.
It just looks odd, and it's kind of, but it's in that price bracket where it kind of looks respected at $10 in the bag. Like it hasn't been dismissed at 20s or 30s. It's there. And another horse, he kind of looks like he's in that similar position as Turbulent Jet.
But again, it's what you see, what you get. You know, he's back, run on, everything goes his way, he gets there.
He needs things to fall into
that's
place,
right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, highly
one-dimensional.
Highly dangerous if everything goes right. But that's
never takes the race.
Yeah.
No. One thing you have to say there's a huge plus for him. He's gone Winona, Gibbons, Tie Angler.
Yeah, absolutely. But still, whether it's Tie Angler or Jesus Christ, he's still going to have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's and bigger field, all that. Oh yeah, I mean, definitely dangerous. Definitely if he's there closing, and you're on the leader, you don't really want to be seeing him coming out of the ruck. But
so overall, saying it's a bit of a funny meeting, and we're looking forward to the
Next
week
week.
at Randwick.
Yeah, next
And
week
I
at
just can't wait.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Okay. Well, that's the preview. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
That's
All
right.
right.
Thank you.